The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, Lord.
Now a man was ill, Lazarus from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. Mary was the one who had anointed the Lord with perfumed oil and dried his feet with her hair. It was her brother Lazarus who was ill. So the sisters sent word to Jesus, saying, "Master, the one you love is ill." When Jesus heard this, he said, "This illness is not to end in death, but is for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it." Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that he was ill, he remained for 2 days in the place where he was. Then after this, he said to his disciples, "Let us go back to Judea." The disciples said to him, "Rabbi, the Jews were just trying to stone you, and you want to go back there?" Jesus answered, "Are there not 12 hours in a day? If one walks during the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks at night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him." He said this and then told them, "Our friend Lazarus is asleep, but I am going to awaken him." So the disciples said to him, "Master, if he is asleep, he will be saved." But Jesus was talking about his death, while they thought that he meant ordinary sleep. So then Jesus said to them clearly, "Lazarus has died, and I am glad for you that I was not there, that you may believe. Let us go to him." So Thomas, called Didymus, said to his fellow disciples, "Let us also go to die with him." When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, only about 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them about their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary sat at home. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise." Martha said to him, "I know he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus told her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?" She said to him, "Yes, Lord. I have come to believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, the one who is coming into the world." When she had said this, she went and called her sister Mary secretly, saying, "The teacher is here and is asking for you." As soon as she heard this, she rose quickly and went to him. For Jesus had not yet come into the village, but was still where Martha had met him. So when the Jews who were with her in the house comforting her saw Mary get up quickly and go out, they followed her, presuming that she was going to the tomb to weep there. When Mary came to where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said to him, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping and the Jews who had come with her weeping, he became perturbed and deeply troubled and said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Sir, come and see." And Jesus wept. So the Jews said, "See how he loved him." But some of them said, "Could not the one who opened the eyes of the blind man have done something so this man would not have died?" So Jesus, perturbed again, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone lay across it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the dead man's sister, said to him, "Lord, by now there will be a stench. He has been dead for 4 days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. And Jesus raised his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you for hearing me. I know that you always hear me, but because of the crowd, here I have said this, that they may believe that you sent me." And when he said this, he cried out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, tied hand and foot with burial bands, and his face was wrapped in a cloth. So Jesus said to them, "Untie him and let him go." Now many of the Jews who had come to Mary and seen what he had done began to believe in him. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Lord, if you had been here. How many of you have ever said something like this to God? Lord, if you had been here, that cancer diagnosis wouldn't have come. Lord, if you had been here, my marriage wouldn't be falling apart. Lord, if you had been here, my child wouldn't have walked away from the faith. Lord, if you had been here, I wouldn't feel so anxious, so tired, so alone. Lord, if you had been here, the Lions would have went to the Super Bowl. Okay, maybe not that last one. Every one of us have prayed some version of that sentence. Martha and Mary prayed it too. Lord, if you had been here, our brother would not have died. They are not rejecting their faith. They are speaking from the deepest place of human grief. And Jesus meets them right there. He doesn't correct them. He doesn't tell them to be stronger. He weeps with them. He enters their sorrow before transforming it. This is the heart of Lent. We bring to God the places that feel broken, buried, or beyond repair, and Christ steps into them with compassion before he brings new life. Now, there's something easy to miss in this gospel. Jesus waits. He doesn't go immediately. He arrives when Lazarus has been in the tomb for 4 days. In Jewish tradition, the soul was believed to linger near the body for 3 days. By day 4, there was no doubt Lazarus was truly dead. Jesus waits so that the miracle will be unmistakable. He waits so that God's glory will be clear. And it teaches us something that we all struggle with. God works in his time, not ours. We want God to act now. We want the healing now. We want the answer now. We want the stone rolled away right now. But sometimes God waits, not to punish us, not to ignore us, because the delay is part of the miracle. Then Jesus gives a command that sounds almost unreasonable. Take the stone away. Open the place that smells of death. Expose what has been sealed away. Let grace reach the parts of our lives we'd rather keep hidden. Every one of us has stones in our hearts. Old wounds, old sins, old disappointments, places we've quietly decided God can't or won't touch. But Jesus stands before those places and says, take away the stone. Let me in. Let me heal. Let me bring life. And then Jesus cries out with authority, Lazarus, come out. And the dead man walks, still bound hands and feet and face wrapped in burial cloths. After Lazarus comes out of the tomb, still wrapped in the burial cloths, Jesus turns to the community and says, unbind him and let him go free. It's important to remember what happened to Lazarus is not the same as what happened to Jesus. Lazarus is brought back to earthly life. He will live again, and one day he will die again. This is resuscitation, not the resurrection. But Jesus rises in a completely new way into glorified life, a life that death can never touch again. Lazarus comes out still wrapped in his burial cloths. Jesus leaves his cloths behind. Lazarus needs the community to unbind him. Jesus passes through locked doors. Lazarus points to Easter. Jesus is Easter. Only Christ can raise the dead. Only Christ can call someone out of darkness, but he chooses to let the community help with the unbinding. Christ gives the new life. The community helps remove what still binds, and even that work is guided by Christ. We can't free ourselves without him, and we cannot walk in freedom without one another. The raising of Lazarus is not just a miracle, it's a preview of what is coming. In 2 weeks, we will stand before another tomb. We will see another stone rolled away, and we'll hear another proclamation of life. But before Easter morning, we will walk through the Passion. We see Jesus enter death itself, not to avoid it, but to break it open from the inside. The story of Lazarus prepares us for that journey. It tells us that death, physical, spiritual, and emotional, does not have the final word. The gospel asks each of us a simple but life-changing question. Do we believe that Jesus can bring life where we only see death? If we can say yes, then we are ready for Holy Week. We are ready for the cross. We are ready for the resurrection. Because the God who called Lazarus from the tomb is calling us to hope, freedom, and new life.